So, just to start, just to clarify, 2-0 to the recruiter. Got the new FD here today, Chris Thompson from BES. He's going to challenge me, hopefully put some points on the board for the accountants. So just to make sure I got this right, so currently at BES Utilities.
Correct.
And then spent a lot of big chunk of your career over at Victrex where you trained. Yeah. So getting straight into it, first question that I ask everybody, why an FD and what's your favourite part about being an FD?
I think the favourite part of being an FD is definitely the chance for original thought. I think through your finance career, from starting accounts payable all the way through to management accountant, FC, you're always sort of structured by a process, and you've got a task to do and deliver. I think as the FD, you've got the oversight of the full suite of what's required. It's nice to give that direction. I think that's certainly a perk of the job.
Excellent. Let's get going.
Cracking away. Watch me pop the white. Oh, I was disappointed.
So you've always kind of chosen, well, you maybe you found yourself in a path of kind of commercially focused roles. I'm guessing that was more
intentional.
You decided to go that way. And what's kind of made you decide to kind of go down that route?
I suppose when you're in a finance role, it's very easy to be inward looking, so you're just looking at the results, excuse the car plunge, you're always looking in the rear view at past performance. I think with the commercial aspect, you're involved in the direction of travel, so you can sit with the sales guys, you can sit with the operational, you can look at where efficiency beyond spreadsheets, I guess is the best way of looking at it. I've always enjoyed that side. That's not to say most accountants cut their teeth with generally your month end, management accounts, stat accounts, that's all your bread and butter.
Yeah.
It's the value add, and I think that's where the commercial angle has always, appealed to me. I think that's what's been driving me down that route.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So, highlight of your career so far, if you can kind of pinpoint one or two.
It's always a big moment when you qualify. I think that's kind of, that goes without saying. You put yourself through, university is tough, but doing a professional qualification, be it SEMA, ACCA, that's always a good achievement. I think, generally speaking, highlights, every time you change job is a highlight, because it's, it's a recognition that you're stepping in the right direction, that you're always growing as a candidate.
Yeah.
So, in terms of highlights, there's probably many. Victrex, like I say, I spent a large amount of time there. I travelled the world, saw places that, you're not going to see on your average accounts payable salary. It was gifted opportunities. I think that's always I always look back at Victrex very fondly.
Yeah.
Covering the pocket.
That's a dodgy position. Let's do that. Oh, lovely. Get rid of that one. So I asked this one to everybody. So everybody's got a different management style. What would you say yours is like?
I would say collaborative, I think is the right way to put that. I still view myself as quite young, even though past the 40 mark. Looking back at past managers, you can certainly see if someone's dictating, you certainly don't get the buy-in. I think you get the most out of your staff if you bring them along on the journey. I think that's always been key. I like to view myself as a mentor. You can almost sort of help people. Where you think you were failed or let down on the journey. I think that's always good to impass that. You play on this all day.
Oh, for the camera, that one.
There's 2 ones. I'm looking.
Believe me, I'm never on this bill table. So again, another question I've asked everybody, but what motivates you? What gets you going every day?
I think, you know, the corny answer is family. So I've got 3 little girls. You know, it's good that you're always pushing yourself, you know, to better their lives. And I think, you know, what motivates me is learning and developing. You know, as I was saying to you before, I do like, you know, learning new sectors, learning new skills, you know, learning new people. You know, it's always good when you change role. You know, you meet a new board or a new team. You sort of learning all the intricacies of the people. That's what motivates me. I think if you view it as a job, you know, that's not for me. I think, you know, you've always got to see yourself on that career growing at each junction. I think that's first and foremost. But yeah, ultimately family. You know, you rise and grind for a holiday, don't you, and spend time with the kids.
Yeah. Let's go.
Oh, chink in the armour.
Always a slight controversial one. You can give names if you want, you don't need to, but best manager or managers that you've ever worked for?
I've had a few very, very good ones. I think at Victrex, Steve Barrow was the FD for a lot of the years I was there. Great guy, just, you know, very knowledgeable, very technical. I think he came from the KPMG, so Big Four background.
Yeah.
But I think Sharon at SPS, Sharon Brownlee, she was a very, very good director.
Right.
You know, she had the right balance of authority and caring. You know, she was very good with the finance team, and you know, she'd pick a fight for the right reasons, which you know is helpful in those kind of businesses. But yeah, she definitely gave finance a seat at the table. I was going to say, now watch me sink this ball, but this could be a cut moment.
Two shots.
Two shots, so for another try.
Two shots again.
Give me another one.
It's definitely time to ask a question then.
Go for it.
So there will be plenty of people watching this that are kind of, you know, either starting out in finance or management accountant, or they're even at FC level now and ready to kind of make that next move to FD. But what would you say throughout your career maybe is the single best piece of advice, or maybe there's been a couple but have really, you know, stuck with you when you were climbing the ladder in finance?
Yeah, I think the key thing is definitely challenge and be curious. I think without that, you can be very good at a job and you can excel at a job, but unless you're challenging the status quo or curious about anything else, you know, you're going to limit your progression. I think you know, that's advice I wish I had had.
Yeah.
You know, 10 years sooner.
These games sometimes go on, but this is a long game.
It is. Well, that's probably my talent. Covering the pockets.
So maybe a question that will start to die off soon, but still one that I like to ask. So obviously still coming out of kind of post-COVID, how have kind of BES Utilities adapted, and have they changed a lot, you know, in the last kind of 6 to 12 months?
I think obviously through the initial lockdown, you know, it was mandatory to be from home. The business had to work very fast to make, you know, everyone available from a home office. So, you know, we had to procure laptops, little black boxes so that people's computers could dial in. I think we very quickly came back to the office. Obviously, being a utility sector, we were deemed essential, so we had to carry a piece of paper as we were driving around the streets in case the police pulled you. Yeah. You sort of had the "Do you know who I am" badge. But more recently, I think what it's done is it's given the owners a flavour that, you know, working from home can work, and it can work in certain departments. Yeah. It doesn't work for all. I think, as we were speaking about before, I think with finance, you know, the option's there to work from home, but a lot of people, certainly the younger people in my team, prefer to come in so they can have that, you know, culture and team build, you know, that you can't get sat in your front room or in your home office. Yeah. You know, I think one of the best ways of learning is that knowledge that's passed down. You know, you can pick up a nifty little Excel trick, or, you know, you can pick up on the, you know, conversations in the office that you might otherwise miss out. So I think whilst home working is added a degree of flexibility, and it appeals to more candidates. I think that the sector I'm working in, and certainly in finance, I would say, it probably doesn't work as well as it did now. I think people are recognising that knowledge sharing happens in an office, with face-to-face contact.
We were talking about it before, weren't we? Just saying that
Yeah.
there's been a big shift kind of coming back to the
You
office now.
you can definitely see, the benefits of it, and like, picking up the kids or nipping to the gym or whatever. It gives you a degree of flexibility that otherwise you'd have been doing at 6, 7 o'clock at night. So your work-life balance can definitely improve from it.
Oh dear.
Strategy, Neil.
So, what's next?
That's the big unknown. I think, obviously the economy's going into who knows what over the next few months, so I think a lot of businesses will be battening down the hatch, but as with every recession, that's an opportunity for others to improve processes, reduce costs, look at different ways of doing things. So always open to what's next. I think that's the key thing.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to grow or put yourself outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah, good. I always ask a question as well towards the end, which is totally not accounts related. And I know you're a big fan of cars. That's right, isn't it? Well, you didn't turn up in your normal
I didn't know.
car
I did think you'd pull me on that.
I was like, who's this? So you've got you like your kind of
Old school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got TVI, you've got Cosworth.
That's correct. Yeah.
Used to have my car. I believe.
Used to have your car. Yeah.
So you've got a garage. You can fit 3 cars in. What would you go for?
Well, 2 are filled because they are dream cars. So the Cosworth, the TVR. I'd like to cliche and say Ferrari, but I think being realistic, I'd quite fancy like a Tesla or something to move me outside and into the future.
Right. What have I just done? I mean, to be fair, that's a difficult shot.
It's a very difficult shot. Let's not make it easy.
You definitely use that footage, aren't you, like that one?
This is a pressure shot.
Oh, he's scoring the points.
Always a pleasure.
Brilliant.